Deer hunting season just ended here a couple of days ago. It has been open season on deer for the last 14 days here in Canada. I'm not a hunter, but I certainly support the sport of hunting, and it's been necessary around here. On our lawn at the cottage, we have like a herd of deer. My daughter, my wife loves it. They're not even afraid of our dog Clifford. And there's a big 8-point buck on the backyard. It's a safe haven because nobody down in our neighborhood hunts, and we have a couple of neighbors who feed the deer year round. So it's a safe haven. And so there's lots of little ones, there's lots of big ones. We usually have about 8 or 9 out on our lawn. I go out at night and they're right there. But they made it through the hunting season. There's still 8 of them. I counted last night. So not much of a thinning of the herd in our backyard. But every year, hunting season in this area, it is a thinning of the herd, a much needed thinning of the herd when it comes to the deer population. And the exact same thing is happening in our economic world. I mean, what happened in 2022 is just going to continue at a higher volume in 2023. And I think that it's really naive to think that things are going to be automatically better in 2023, that you're going to be better without investing in yourself is simply not going to happen. I see winter is finally here. I've been talking about it for a year. Economic winter, social winter is here. And we're going into one of the toughest economies that we've experienced probably in the last 50 years. If I'm going on what my dad said, he's talking about, we haven't seen since he was in the 70s and 80s. He talked about the Carter years with the gas lines and the double-digit inflation. And my mom and him had a 17 or 18% mortgage rate when they bought their first home. And, through that 50 years with some blips on the screen and in different times like 2008, 2009, and some other years, we've had a hell of a run. And a lot of people, a lot of businessmen and entrepreneurs who thought they were so great, thought they were so talented, are going to find out, and are finding out right now, that maybe they weren't so smart. Maybe they weren't so clever. Maybe their business is on quicksand. Maybe it wasn't built on cement and cement pillars. So that's what we're going to find out with the thinning of the herd in 2023. I think it's going to be a minimum 36-month winter is here. I think that it's going to be 1 to 3 years. My money would be on 3 years plus. But what that means to you as a world builder is if you have your mind right and you have your behavior right and you have your lifestyle right and you build your world, you continue to mind your own business and build your own world, regardless of what, is happening on CNN or on anti-social media, or what your broke brother-in-law is saying, or your friend at the golf club is saying. If you really focus on you becoming the best version of yourself every single day over the next 12 to 36 months, everything and anything will take care of itself. The worst thing that we can do as entrepreneurs and husbands and fathers over the next 36 months is to focus on anything but our own performance. And with the thinning of the herd, in the end, there's going to be less competition. There's going to be less competition in all of the business spaces. People that thought they were so smart and so clever online coaching, and gurus that were, talking about, making 7 figures and 8 figures when they really had never even had any success in business. I mean, those are the people that are going to be the bitter victims. Millions and millions of businesses that go broke and bankrupt over the next 3 years. They're going to be the pretenders. They're going to be the excuse makers. They're going to be the poodles who blame everything, blame the economy, blame the White House, blame the weather. And you need to do the exact opposite. You need to do the exact opposite. The thinning of the herd is here. It's just like hunting season, where the strong are going to get stronger, the weak are going to be curated out, and it's an opportunity for you to say to yourself, the next 3 years, The next 3 years of my life, Michael, I'm not going to survive. I am going to prosper like never before. As a businessman, as a husband, as a father, as a grandfather, as a community leader. How about setting that offensive game plan? When everybody around you is saying, you know, I'm afraid of this, I'm fearful of this, my investments, everything's corrupt and Joe and, creepy Biden and all this other stuff that goes on. It's like, how about running your own race over the next 36 months? How about getting up every single day, saying your prayers, counting your blessings, getting up and moving, going for a walk, getting out in nature, copywriting and marketing with your business every single day, reading classic great books that help you grow as a person, spending time, lunches and dinners with your children and your grandkids. How about getting in the best physical and mental shape of your life? And how about entirely focusing on you becoming the best version of yourself? I can tell you right now, I have one job in the next year, and that's to become a better version of Michael McLean. And then after that year, job number 2 is to become a better version of Michael McLean. And then job number 3 in the 3rd year is for me to become a better version of Michael McLean. And any time that I spend, talking to people that are deep as puddles or anti-social media or watching television or eating toxic food or associating with toxic people or doing anything that no longer serves me or belongs in my world, that's just time and energy vampires that are sucking the life out of my world. You need to block out the noise like never before. You need to get rid of all the apps on your phone. There should be nothing on your phone except for a couple of things that serve you. I have nothing on my phone except my Oura Ring, which tells me, how well I slept, how many steps I took. That's it. That's all that's on my phone. I don't have any anti-social media. I don't have any ESPN. I don't have any of that stuff. When I pick up my phone, which is very rare, it's to shoot a video. And very rarely to send a text message, and that's it. And it's the same. I can't access social media if I wanted to on any of my stuff. I can't access ESPN or Sports Center or any of that stuff. I've controlled my environment, and I've put things in my environment, in my world, good foods and water, and got rid of toxic people and things, that it's made it damn hard for me to misbehave. When the bad wolf comes to visit, you know what? I would have to drive somewhere to get a bag of chips. I would have to drive somewhere to get an ice cream cone. I would have to drive somewhere and stand in line to drink alcohol. I would have to, I just don't have access to it anymore because I've fixed my environment. I don't think there's anything more important in this next 3 years than saying no to almost everything. This is going to be the era of no, not yes. This is going to be the era of simplicity, not complexity. Just simply simple. If it doesn't fit in your world, no. If it doesn't fit in your world anymore, no. And simplicity, very simple things like, lean and mean. Do we need it? If we don't need it, we curate it out. Do we need it? If we don't need it, then cut the rope with it. Simplicity, and a lot of vitamin N. No to everything that doesn't serve you. And no to the noise. Get rid of the noise so that you can focus on reading, you can focus on copywriting, you can focus on prayer, you can focus on meditation, you can focus on your personal performance, you can focus on newsletters, all this kind of different things. But just because it's hunting season and just because there's a thinning of the herd, that's no reason to run at home or live on your heels or hide under the bed or sit at home and be afraid of what's happening next. If anything, when there's blood in the streets, that's when we should be most aggressive. What did Buffett say? Be scared when others are brave and be brave when others are scared. Well, guess what? Everybody's scared now. They're the inputs, the news media, the social, everything. They're being fed to be fearful and scared, fight or flight. So you need to stop all that input. You've got to choose your own input, and you've decided, okay, there's blood in the streets. It's here. It's now. It's a thinning of the herd. Winter is here. What are you going to do? Are you going to be brave or you're going to be scared? Are you going to be like 99% in the fetal position at home? Or are you going to make the next 3 years the best 3 years of your life? For fuck's sakes, you're the franchise player. You're the rainmaker of the family. You stir the drink and you set the tone. So if you're at a 9.5 over the next 3 years, your kids are going to be at a 9.5, your wife's going to be at a 9.5, your business is going to be at a 9.5 out of 10, your employees are going to be at a 9.5 out of 10, and your world's going to be at a 9.5 out of 10. If you're one of these chicken shits who's afraid of sneezing because CNN told you so, or whoever's in the White House, and you're sucking wind at a 3 out of 10, well, guess what? Everybody in your world is going to be sucking wind at a 3 out of 10. It's going to affect your marriage. It's going to affect your physical health, your mental health. It's going to affect your children. It's going to affect your employees. It's going to affect your business. Remember, you're the franchise player. You're the rainmaker, so make it rain. And do the opposite over the next 36 months. Everybody running scared, everybody shrinking their life, everybody being afraid of their shadow. Instead, play offense. Play to win. It doesn't mean you waste money. You should have your house in order. You shouldn't be wasting anything. You should only have simplicity in your life. You know, less is more. But then go to work on what serves you. Reading, writing, training, growing, praying, spending time with your family. Those are the things that you need to play offense on. But as far as waking up and looking at your phone and looking at your texts and reacting to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, are you crazy? You need to block that stuff out. It's hunting season. It's thinning of the herd. You need to have people in your life that are going to have the best 3 years of their life. You need amazing coaches and amazing mentors. You need amazing friends. You need outstanding employees and business partners. You need to circle the wagons and surround yourself with outstanding people. It's basically that simple. And you need to put a fence around your world and nothing gets in it that doesn't serve you. Whether it's food, whether it's drink, whether it's people, whether it's books, whatever it is, it doesn't get inside the walls of your world unless it serves you. And that's how you're not only going to survive the next 3 years, but you're going to fucking thrive. And get that in your mindset that you're going to run your own race. I don't care what's happening. You know, my investments are my responsibility. My personal health is my responsibility, not my doctor's. My financial health is my responsibility, not my financial guy that looks at. No, I'm responsible. My marriage is my responsibility. My relationship with my daughter is my responsibility. My marketing is my responsibility. The profit in my business is my responsibility. And at the end of the day, I make my own economy. I make my own economy and I make my own world. I get up and I do the work every day. I tune out the noise and I build my world and I build my own economy. What's happening around the rest of the base, I could care less. I don't have any time for it. I realize that the strong are going to get stronger, and I either choose and decide to make these the best 3 years of my life, or I might as well go home and hide under the bed with a mask on like 99% of other men. You either rise during this time or you die. If your kingdom dies, it's because you didn't rise to the challenge. Not because of the economy, not because of inflation, not because of who's in the White House, not because of the weather. It's because you didn't show up every day as the man you're supposed to be. For God's sakes, we've been given these incredible gifts from above. I mean, we've been born to be in nature. You were gifted legs to walk. We're supposed to be outside. We're supposed to be running. We're supposed to be walking. We're built to hunt. We're built to survive. We're built to fight. We're built to lift. And we become these soft as shit people that we wonder why we're so unhappy. It's because we're not back in our basics. You're meant to walk. You're meant to hunt. You're meant to strive. You're meant to work. You're meant to push yourself. You're not happy. A human being is hardwired to be happy when you're pushing yourself, when you're growing. You can't be happy unless you're pushing yourself. You can't be happy unless you're relentless. Chase relentlessness. Chase your next victory. That's where happiness is found. And the second part of that is you can't be happy. You can't have peace of mind unless you're serving others. When everybody else is at home in the fetal position, over the next 3 years, serve more people. Serve more people. Who can I help along the way? Who can I coach? Who can I mentor? Who can I write a letter to? Whose day can I make? What person or group can my business can it serve? How can I help more people? But these God-given gifts, don't throw them back into your creator's face and say, oh, it's a tough economy. What the fuck is that? I mean, get out there and become the best version of yourself. That's the way to honor your creator. That's the best way. Every time I'm gifted, when I wake up and my eyes are open, it means he's not done with me. That's what it means. It means I'm blessed with another day. And just to mail it in or phone it in is an absolute insult to that gift. He might as well have not given me the time. So I don't give a shit what happens in the White House or on CNN or on anti-social media or what Elon Musk said. I don't care about any of that stuff. I care about my wife. I care about my daughter. I care about my mom. I care about my dad. I care about my physical health. I care about my creator. I care about my community. I care about my employees. I care about my world. I mind my own business. Mind your own business over the next 3 years. As my dad used to say, growing up in a general store, I like to mind my store. Mind my store. I don't worry about my neighbor or gossip or any of this stuff. Mind your own store. Over the next 36 months, over the next 3 years, mind your own store. Best way now to bulletproof yourself, help yourself become 10 foot tall. You have got to be surrounded by brothers that are like-minded and are there to support you. If you're not in a mastermind in the next year, the next 2 years, the next 3 years, my sympathies to you. I'm in 2 of them outside of my own because I understand how hard 2023 is going to be, how much more difficult it's even going to be than the years before. And I'm preparing myself to be mentally bulletproof, to be 10 foot tall by associating with the best of the best people. And you better do the same or you've got a tough road ahead. Badassworldbuilders.com. It's an investment in your marriage, your money, your marketing, your children, your family, your community, your physical health, your mental health. What could be more important than circling the wagons this year with 49 other elite men like you and a coach who's going to hold your feet to the fire? Are you going to go it alone in this cerebral warfare that we're going to go through over the next 36 months with a book or a newsletter or watching a video? Masterminds make you implement. Books and newsletters teach, but masterminds make you implement. Masterminds are boots on the ground. Badassworldbuilders.com. The deadline is coming up first of the week. This is a game changer for you. You're either in or out. You're either going to war by yourself or you're going with 49 other brothers. Which is it going to be? Badassworldbuilders.com. Make sure that before, when you get home tonight, you tell your children and your wife how much you love them and how much they mean to you. If they're away, make sure that you pick up the phone and call them, leave a note, send a text. But every day they need to hear from you that you're with them, that you're thinking of them. The door is open and they can always come to you. When you think they're not listening or you think that they're checked out, it's not true. They're just watching. And you're the example. You're the example this year. And if the king doesn't rise, the kingdom dies. You need to rise like never before coming up in the next 12 months. Let me help you do that. Badassworldbuilders.com. That's it. 2 words that changed my life. 2 words that'll change your life. Be relentless.